Hey, it's Sela Social Studies.
Hey guys, what's up? Sela Social Studies here. Today we're going to be talking about the Bill of Rights. So after the Constitution was written, Federalists like Alexander Hamilton pushed for the ratification, giving the federal government lots of power. What would life like be today if Hamilton was successful in convincing the states to ratify the supreme law of the land? Lucky for us, there was a pushback to the Federalists, and without that resistance, we would not have our individual rights that we have today. The original draft of the U.S. Constitution gave the federal government and Congress near unlimited powers. Southern delegates were fearful of this and suggested that there be a change before the ratification or approval. Ratify means to approve. This change is what we call the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments in the United States Constitution. They were inspired by anti-federalist and future Democratic Republican Thomas Jefferson and were based upon his Virginia Declaration of Rights. In 1789, Virginia Representative Thomas Jefferson and his colleague and future President of the United States as well, James Madison, transcribed some amendments or changes, and on July 8, 1789, Madison addressed Congress and proposed the first 17 amendments of the Constitution. Ultimately, only 10 would be included. Madison felt that it was very important that Congress understood that it was the people who held the power in the government, not the delegates. Madison stated, first, that there be prefixed to the Constitution a declaration that all power is originally vested in and consequently derived from the people, that government is instituted and ought to be exercised for the benefit of the people, which consists in the enjoyment of life and liberty, with the right of acquiring and using property, and generally of pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. That the people have an indubitable, unalienable, and indefeasible right to reform or change their government whenever it be found adverse or inadequate to purposes of its institution. So the Bill of Rights guarantees individual rights for citizens of the United States, and it is these rights that we take advantage of today. These rights include, and I'm going to go through them right now. Amendment 1. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government of redress of grievances. The Second Amendment is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Amendment 3 says no soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in a time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed only by law. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures, and shall be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by the oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Amendment 5 says no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces, or in the militia when in actual service, or in time of war, public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life and limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without the process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Amendment 6 says in all criminal prosecutions the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Amendment 7 says in suits of common law, whereas the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court in the United States than according to the rules of common law. Amendment 8 says excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines be imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Amendment 9 says the enumeration of the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. And Amendment 10 says the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it into the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. So after much deliberation and arguments, the Bill of Rights were written by James Madison on September 25, 1789, and were officially added to the Constitution on December 15, 1791. The first 5 easily passed, while the other 5 took a lot more convincing. Anti-Federalist delegates opposed a large federal government and supported more states' rights. They preferred the government under the Articles of Confederation. The Anti-Federalist delegates opposed ratifying the Constitution until the rights of the citizens were protected, fearing that without rights, the government would hold almost a monarchical power. These primarily Southern Anti-Federalists would only ratify the Constitution if the amendments were added, making this a major compromise to help drive the new nation. I'll see you next time.